My wife Jenny came home from kayaking and suddenly discovered a corpse floating by the dock. I recognized him immediately. It was Mike, the former strip club owner. When we saw there had been a murder, Jenny was about to call the police, but I stopped her. I had used some illegal methods to get the club's operating rights from Mike. If we called the police now, they would definitely suspect me first. Jenny quickly understood this. She tried to push the body away from the dock with her paddle, but just then someone greeted us. A neighbor had noticed something unusual here.
Go!
Since we'd been discovered, I had no choice but to call the police. When the police arrived at the scene, they immediately suspected me, just as I'd expected. I could only explain that my business deal with Mike was a legitimate transaction. The police didn't believe me, but since they had no evidence, they just told me to bring the transaction contract to the station as soon as possible. But there was more trouble ahead. On my way to the vacation house, an old man suddenly stopped me. He was Mike's boss. Behind the scenes, I didn't know him. The old man got straight to the point. He said he and Mike had done business together before, and both had profited handsomely. Now he wanted to continue working with me. I rejected him without a second thought. In my mind, nothing was more important than laundering money for drug dealers. No one could match the fear that drug dealers brought in. However, the troublesome events weren't over yet. My daily routine involved having Jenny transfer the laundered cash to the drug dealers' accounts. Walking on a knife's edge, my wife and I had always maintained a low-key, modest lifestyle. Even our car was just an inconspicuous used vehicle to avoid drawing attention. But unexpectedly, Jenny was followed that day. After all these incidents happened in succession, I finally understood. The boss behind the scenes must have killed Mike and dumped the body at my dock. This was a warning to me. I felt a growing unease. I found my partner Anna and tried to get information about John, the boss behind the scenes. But surprisingly, even Anna, who was a local, was very secretive about it. Aside from saying their family was somewhat mysterious, she didn't provide any valuable information. The next day, when I went to the police station, the sheriff's reaction deepened my concerns even more. I presented the legitimate contract for purchasing the club to prove I had no motive for murder, but the sheriff barely glanced at it before handing it back to me. The case was already closed. Mike had died accidentally from a drug overdose. It had nothing to do with us. Even Jenny noticed something was wrong.
Was it an overdose? Yesterday you seemed certain it was foul play.
Let me make this very clear. It's better for all of us if we can just call this an overdose. Understood?
I felt relieved. At least this didn't implicate me. But at the same time, we realized there was a terrifying conspiracy behind all this.